Imagine you're commuting to work or school in the wintertime. You don't have any sunshine ushering you out the door, and as you're sitting at your desk at 8 a.m., still the sun has not risen. That would be the scenario if we did have permanent daylight saving time, and also if the Sunshine Protection Act was passed. I'm meteorologist Megan Hanna of Jackson, Mississippi. Here's what you need to know. I'm going to break it down for you. This would mean that we would have permanent daylight saving time, no more changing the clocks in the spring or the fall. We would have those later sunsets that we typically see in the summertime during the winter, but the trade-off is that the winter sunrises would be a lot later. Now, daylight saving time was first introduced during World War I to conserve resources, have the sun earlier in the summertime so we can have some cooler daylight hours in the first part of the day during the summer. Now, this was brought to the Senate in 2022. They passed it, but then it stalled out. Now to present day in 2026, the House has passed it. Now we're just waiting on the Senate and then the president to sign this into law. Now, for us here in Mississippi, we do have daylight saving time into effect. Nothing would change into the summertime because we're taking the time pattern that we're typically in the summer and trying to push it towards the winter time. That would mean our sun would rise just after 8 o'clock in the morning. Kiddos would be headed out the door to the bus stop in the pitch black darkness, and then our sunset would be a little bit later, right around 6 o'clock. The impacts of this change will be felt nationwide. We already have a few states and territories that have opted out of changing time as a whole, including portions of Arizona as well as Hawaii. And if the Sunshine Protection Act does become law, states could still opt out. So here's what it looks like for our winter sunrises. For the western portions of our individual time zones, we could see sunrise times during the 9 o'clock hour or even as late as 10 o'clock in the morning. For a lot of the plains, the sun will rise during the 9 o'clock hour. That also includes Atlanta all the way up to Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York, and even the northern Dakota. Some portions of there could see sunrises as late as 10 o'clock. Now, one thing that won't change is our day length. Because of the Earth's tilt on its axis, we will always have more daylight hours in the summer, near 15 to 16, and then in the winter, close to the winter solstice, we'll have 8 to 9 hours of daylight. Again, that's something that we can't change. It's really interesting because health officials say we shouldn't change the clocks either, but they say that we should actually keep permanent standard time, what we see in the wintertime, because it best reflects what our body needs to keep the correct circadian rhythm. I'm going to have more details about the health impacts in a podcast back in October. It can be found on Spotify or our WJTV Plus app on your smart TV. I'm going to have the link below.